The Hanuman Chalisa Face-Off continues to dominate the politics of Maharashtra. Now, BMC is preparing to take action against the couple for violations in their car residence. The civic body listed out 10 violations after inspecting their house. BMC has issued a show-cause notice to the lawmaker couple and asked them to file a reply within 7 days. The letter served to the Ranas says that the couple would be prosecuted if they fail to provide sufficient cause. The Ranas have alleged that the action being taken against them is due to political vendetta of the Uddhav government. Remember, BMC inspection at the Rana residence took place when they had flown to Delhi to meet Lok Sabha Speaker after the bail.
Why are you going to Delhi?
See, first of all, I'll tell you all the situation, whatever happened from lockup to jail. Because of complaints against them, here I have registered complaint, I have given complaint, but nobody has worked on that. And I know that I will not get justice from Maharashtra. I have to go and knock the door of central government.
What do you think about the sedition charges?
See, I am not going to talk about that particular subject because court has given me orders. Keep on particular subject, you should not talk or you should not meet any press conference. So I am not going to talk about that. Once the sedition, whatever it is, it will go off, then we'll talk. But whatever happened after that, it is my rights and Samvidhan has given me that right, so I'm going to do on that.
Political war between Raj and Uddhav Thackeray has escalated. MNS Chief Raj Thackeray has sent a letter to Chief Minister Uddhav slamming him for action against MNS party workers. Here's a report coming in.
Thackeray versus Thackeray reaches a whole new level. MNS Chief Raj Thackeray has shot off an angry letter to cousin and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav over the loudspeaker Chalisa Rao. Raj Thackeray took to Twitter saying, "Do not test our patience. Power comes and goes. No one has a copper plate of power. Not even you, Uddhav Thackeray," and posted the letter. Raj Thackeray has slammed the Uddhav government for taking action against MNS party workers. Thackeray said as many as 28,000 MNS workers were served notices and many of them were arrested even before starting the agitation to take down the loudspeakers from the mosques. MNS chief said his party workers are being hunted down as if they are Pakistani terrorists. The Shiv Sena has accused the MNS chief of trying to disrupt harmony in the state.
It is out of frustration he is making such statements. He had some intentions, he expected some violence out of it, but which did not happen because the law and order has been maintained by the Honorable Chief Minister in a very wonderful way.
Raj Thackeray has been rooting for a ban on the use of loudspeakers for azan and has threatened to play Hanuman Chalisa at double the volume. The political face-off between the two warring Thackerays is taking a new turn every day now. Bureau Report, India Today.
The loudspeaker debate is getting louder. After UP and Maharashtra, it is now echoing in Karnataka. The BMC government has issued a 15-day ultimatum to all institutions to comply with the Supreme Court guidelines on noise limits.
Karnataka government's new ultimatum. Chief Minister BMC issues notice to pull down unauthorized speakers from religious places within 15 days. Yes, the loudspeaker row which sparked off in Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh is now echoing in Karnataka. After Hindu right-wing group Sri Ram Sene pushed the BJP government to show some guts like Yogi did in Uttar Pradesh and crack down on loudspeakers at mosques, the BMC government has quickly responded with a notice. The Chief Minister held a meeting with senior officers in Bengaluru and decided that a 15-day deadline be given to pull down all illegal loudspeakers and bring down decibel levels of those with permissions in place.
We are sure that law and order will not be disturbed and law and order will not be given into the hands of miscreants who are trying to disturb Karnataka's harmony.
Sriram Sene on Monday had launched protests across several temples in Bengaluru, Mysuru, Mandya, Bengam, Dharwad and Kalaburgi. They played the Hanuman Chalisa on temple loudspeakers, following which Bengaluru police stormed in to detain a Karnataka Congress calls this move an election gimmick orchestrated by the BJP.
Since elections are going to take place next year, you can be sure that one more issue is now going to crop up, and that is also going to be a communal one. So after the end of the Azan issue, there is going to be some other thing which is going to try to keep the communal divide active, and this is in the run-up to elections in 2023.
Karnataka government though remains firm on the order. Instructions have been given to take strict legal action against those who do not comply with the Supreme Court mandated loudspeaker guidelines. Bureau Report, India Today.
Congress leader Rahul Gandhi's video from Gujarat has created a massive political storm. In the video, Rahul can be seen putting a garland on the railing of the staircase of Vadodara Airport. The garland was made of cotton threads and was offered by Gujarat Congress leaders. The BJP has alleged that cotton yarn was Bapu's favourite and Rahul tossed that scarf at Vadodara Airport. The Saffron Party has accused the Congress leader of disrespecting Mahatma Gandhi. BJP leaders tweeted clips of Rahul Gandhi and demanded Congress apologise for the actions. The Congress has rejected the charges, called the incident a non-issue. Rahul Gandhi was on a day visit to Gujarat to address a rally in Vadodara.
ये सूती धागा इस स्वदेशी का भी प्रतीक था। ये सूती धागा देश के स्वतंत्र आंदोलन का भी प्रतीक था और यही सूती धागा पूज्य बापू के मूल्यों का भी प्रतीक है। इनका अपमान पूज्य बापू का अपमान है, पूरे गुजरात और पूरे देश का अपमान है। कांग्रेस को इसके लिए माफी मांगनी चाहिए।
The Punjab Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann has said that the RPG attack in Mohali is an attempt to spoil the atmosphere in the state of Punjab. Securing the border state is a big test for Mann, who is now under fire by BJP and Congress, who are calling the Punjab Chief Minister incapable.
An explosion that shook the intelligence office of the Punjab police. And with it brought the state's Aam Aadmi Party government under heavy political fire. As investigators probe the RPG-propelled grenade hit that caused no human injury in Mohali, Punjab's ruling Aam Aadmi Party confronts opposition onslaught. Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann is already being blamed for subservience to his party leader Arvind Kejriwal, a charge he stoutly denies. The Mohali blast delivered fresh ammunition to Congress to target the Mann government.
जब से आम आदमी पार्टी की पंजाब में सरकार रही है, कत्ल के केसेस में वृद्धि, पटियाला में दंगे, तरन तारण में RDX का मिलना और अब पुलिस के ही दफ्तर पे हमला हो जाना, ये बात दर्शाता है कि आम आदमी पार्टी केजरीवाल की जो पंजाब में सरकार है, पंजाब की सुरक्षा, अमन चैन के लिए हानिकारक है। अब माननीय भगवंत मान जी को जाग जाना चाहिए, उन्हें याद रखना चाहिए वो पंजाब के मुख्यमंत्री हैं, केवल केजरीवाल के प्रचार मंत्री नहीं हैं। देश के गृह मंत्री श्री अमित शाह जी से दरखास्त करूंगा कि सेंट्रल जांच एजेंसियों को जिम्मेदारी दी जाए मोहाली मामले की तह तक जाने के लिए, उसकी जांच करने के लिए।
The BJP took a tongue-in-cheek stance on Bhagwant Mann and Arvind Kejriwal.
ये कह देना कि ये माइनर है, भाई रॉकेट प्रोपेलर से एक ग्रेनेड फेंका जाता है यार, इसको माइनर अटैक और मेजर अटैक आप इसको कैसे कहेंगे? इससे बड़ा तो मुझे नहीं सकता कि अटैक हो सकता हो, और पंजाब में कभी हुआ भी नहीं इस तरह का। हम भगवंत मान जी के सपोर्ट में हैं, हम चाहते हैं कि वो इस लड़ाई को लड़ें, लेकिन वो केजरीवाल जी को छोड़ें। केजरीवाल जी की डिफरेंट प्रायोरिटीज़ हैं। केजरीवाल जी की प्रायोरिटी पंजाब की नहीं है, केजरीवाल जी की प्रायोरिटी सिख नहीं है।
Akali Chief Sukhbir Singh Badal warned the Aam Aadmi Party government not to use the Mohali explosion as a pretext to start witch hunt of Sikh youth. The ruling Aam Aadmi Party has fielded its own army in defence. The Chief Minister guaranteed swift action and prosecution.
ਕੱਲ ਰਾਤ ਜੋ ਮੋਹਾਲੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਘਟਨਾ ਹੋਈ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਡੀਜੀਪੀ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰੇ ਇੰਟੈਲੀਜੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਅਫਸਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਲਈ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਸਾਰਾ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਨਿਕਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਗ੍ਰਿਫਤਾਰੀਆਂ ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਵੀ ਗਈਆਂ, ਕੁਝ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਗੀਆਂ ਤੇ ਜੜ੍ਹਾਂ ਤੱਕ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਜਾਣਗੇ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਇਹੀ ਬਾਰ-ਬਾਰ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਜਰੀਏ ਕਿ ਜਿਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦਾ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਉਹ ਖਰਾਬ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਕੋਸ਼ਿਸ਼ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਹ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਊਗਾ, ਸਖਤ ਤੋਂ ਸਖਤ ਸਜ਼ਾ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ।
His party brass called the Mohali explosion an attempt to incite hatred in Punjab.
पंजाब में मोहाली ब्लास्ट नफरत फैलाने की और डर फैलाने की एक कोशिश है। आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार, भगवंत मान जी की सरकार पंजाब का अमन चैन कायम करने के लिए पूरी तरीके से प्रतिबद्ध है और जो भी पंजाब का अमन चैन और शांति बिगाड़ने की कोशिश करेगा, शांति भंग करने की कोशिश करेगा, उसकी जगह जेल के सीचों के पीछे है।
Less than 2 months in office, the Aam Aadmi Party's first government in Punjab takes another test by fire over the Mohali blast after the Patiala clashes late last month. Bureau Report, India Today.
The Supreme Court has asked the centre to make its stand clear on sedition law. A 3-judge bench headed by CJ N.V. Ramana asked the centre to inform it about the pending cases under sedition law and how will the government take care of these cases. The apex court also asked the centre why can't sedition law cases be kept in abeyance till the re-examination process of law is over. Anisha Mathur with this report.
A day after the Narendra Modi government said it is re-examining clauses of the sedition law, the Supreme Court has asked the government if cases under Section 124A can be kept in abeyance till that happens. The 3-judge bench of CJI N.V. Ramanna, Justice Suryakant and Justice Hima Kohli has given the government time till Wednesday to clarify its stand. The court also agreed to give the government time to reconsider the sedition law, but it asked some pointed questions of the centre. The day saw spirited arguments by the government and petitioners who have challenged the sedition law. Here is how it unfolded after the court convened at 2 p.m. on Tuesday.
The apex court has, however, asked certain pertinent questions. First of all, what kind of time is it likely to take the centre to conduct this reconsideration exercise? And secondly, what happens to those who have been booked and arrested or would be booked and arrested under this particular law while the centre is going through its reconsideration exercise? All of these questions will now likely be answered in the hearing on Wednesday morning as the court resumes the hearing. With cameraman Ashwini Helan in New Delhi, this is Anisha Mathur for India Today.
Fish being smashed to death, animals being tested and killed on testing positive. China continues with its madness, zero COVID policy that has given zero results. Neha Mordani with this report.
Intense lockdowns, killing cats and dogs, and now testing fish and smashing it to death. This is China's latest strategy in fighting COVID. Another bizarre measure in its zero COVID policy. You heard that right? China is now testing crayfish and running an RT-PCR on them. But is that even surprising? After all, this is the same country that has killed animals, done tests on goats and chickens, thrown toddlers in quarantine centers, and beat its own people to pulp, all in the name of zero COVID, a policy that has never worked and will not work. But this madness continues in China. Without batting an eyelid, China goes about with this monstrosity. Shanghai, the worst hit city, hit by a lockdown for 50 days. The question is, when will the World Health Organization address the serious rights violations here? Rights of men, women, children, and even animals. In New Delhi, with Neha Mordani, Bureau Report, India Today.
Sri Lanka is descending deeper into chaos. The country's administration has issued shoot-at-sight orders to quell the protests. Reports suggest that former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa has fled after his ancestral home was set on fire by an angry mob. Take a look.
Lanka is in flames. Violent protests rocking the picturesque island nation. Super luxury cars vandalized and burnt in arson attacks. Plush residences of top politicians set on fire in unprecedented display of public fury. The Indian Ocean nation, grappling with its worst ever economic crisis, is now on the brink of a full-blown civil war. Homes of several sitting and former ministers, members of parliament and mayors have been set on fire by protesters, angry over economic hardship, chronic shortage of essential items and runaway inflation. The house of Sri Lanka's former Prime Minister, Mahinda Rajapaksa, who resigned on Monday, was also set ablaze. Protests were staged over acute shortages of fuel and electricity, along with skyrocketing prices of essential commodities. Dramatic images of chopper reportedly evacuating members of ruling party from a stadium surfaced. Former Prime Minister Rajapaksa too left his official residence, Temple Trees, early on Tuesday after military cleared out protesters. The government imposed a nationwide curfew till Wednesday. Anti-government protesters lined up the streets leading to the international airport to block any ministers leaving the country. Speaking to India Today exclusively, former Sri Lankan cabinet minister and cricket captain Arjuna Ranatunga blamed the Rajapaksas.
They allowed them to walk towards them. I think it was a highly planned thing, and I blame the police, I blame the forces they should have easily stopped this thing. This entire thing was planned by most probably the government, but supported by the police and the forces as well.
At least 7 people, including an MP, have died in the flare-up and hundreds have been injured. With Ruxana Rizvi in Colombo and Ashutosh Mishra in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
It's a wrap from me, Jayati Narula, on this bulletin. For further news and updates, don't forget to log on to indiatoday.in or go ahead and download our app.